Welcome back to the Game Math Teacher and another episode of the Billy Goat Challenge with the 2005 Chicago Cubs. After the trade deadline here, looking start of August, on a little good win streak. We can see still 4 games back at the Astros, 2 games back at the Cardinals, or game and a half back at the Cardinals, or no, 2.5 games back at the Cardinals. Coming off again, you can kind of see a sweep of the Arizona, followed by a previous sweep where we got swept by the Giants, swept or took 1 or 2 from the Cardinals. So kind of on a down streak right now. You can kind of see Beltran's playing great, Sosa's playing great, Aubrey Huff's playing great, Rami's playing great. Unfortunately, our big free agent signing Nomar has been disappointing this year at shortstop with 86 OPS plus, barely going to hit 2 WAR if we're lucky. Along the same, our star closer we signed, Garrett Gagne, got traded. Again, was not good for us and was making way too much money. So, making a trade, bringing in Troy Percival, who has been great this year for Milwaukee, struggling a bit with us at 4.05 ERA for us. I think that's going to kind of work their way out. If not, pitching coach at the end of this year probably is gone. Again, has some great traits, but for some reason, just back-to-back years where he has not done great. Bench coach, probably another guy that's going to stick around. Dusty Baker, to me, is going to stick around as much as he can, but going to definitely rework this coaching staff at the end of the season with the way things are going. However, finishing up this, last game against Arizona here in the series, so we can finish this sweep with Zambrano on the bump, who's having a good year, as it saves for the quarter. Again, I do ask if you can, please go and follow me on all my socials, kind of flash on the top of the screen there. It is a 6-2 win against Arizona, although we keep seeing guys actually regress instead of progress. Going through a bunch of different other stuff and kind of see Clay Buchholz, Dexter Fowler. Our power rankings, we're sitting right now at 8th, which is, again, good. We're based on that, playoff team. We'll see if we can kind of finish the year like a playoff team, which means we've got to take some here. Again, Carlos Guillen, former player, having an above average year, actually playing better than Nomar, but he's moved to a second base at this spot, getting paid much more money than I'd want to pay him, and still dealing with injuries. Taking 2, and it looks like that last one might have gotten rained out. But now we're going to a series with the Mets. Unfortunately, lose 2 of the 3. Locane doing good in the minors. Again, sitting at 9 now, so right around that same spot. Again, 3 against Cincinnati here is big series. Take 2 of the 3. Jeff Kent hits number 2,000. Good for him and the Brewers. Now, some crucial games against St. Louis. As you can see there, now a division lead, 2.5 games up. So if we can take some in this series, we might be able to fight for the first spot in division right now. With Zambrano on the bump, and Pryor having a really bad year. For whatever reason, I don't know, because we took him off his pitch count, he's struggling. We'll see. Again, coming off last year, we're 3.57. Again, that win-loss not great. Again, same thing here. Having some strikeouts, not having walk issues. Kind of just weird. 1.24 ERA plus at 3.7, but right now sitting 11 points under league average. So we want to see that clear up. Zambrano's pitching great. Got him on the bump the opening here. And we take the first game from St. Louis. And that's great because that pushes us again into a game and a half behind them. Win the second one, now a game behind them. A game behind the Astros, closing the gap, half game behind St. Louis. Take the third round, jump St. Louis in the series, now a game back from the Astros. And we sweep them. Alex Sanchez able to come off. Looking this year's not been great, so I'm just going to send him out right to AAA right now. Again, we're playing good baseball. I don't want to kind of mess any of that up. Looking now, again, game back at Houston. We have looks to be 1, 2, 3 game series against Houston. We'll take a pause here on the 18th as well to kind of look at some stuff. Ooh, Zach Greinke done for 15 months. That just is crusher for a 21-year-old Greinke at this point who just came up the past couple years, been playing great. Again, tallest player. Again, moved to the 4th team. So again, 1-0 loss to Houston, 4-10 loss to Houston, and just a series sweep just kills us. Al Reyes wants to resign. Been really good for us this year. We'll see. Again, that's an off-season resign for me. And unfortunately, losing those 3 puts us right back 4 games out of the lead. Oh, and then losing to Colorado, winning against Colorado, losing against Colorado. So, again, as we were just playing really well, just kind of fell off a cliff there the last couple games. Went from 4th all the way down to 14th. Lost 10 spots in the rankings this week. Losing Atlanta. Okay, we took 2 of 3. There's the rematch against Philly. We lost by 9. And just another series looks like falling apart towards the end. Although we do take all 3. There's Verlander. Hoffman gets it. Chris Hammond had him at one point, I believe. Jumps up to number 6. So right now we are flirting with the playoffs. Sitting 3 games back to the Astros. Unfortunately, Astros that just sweep that last series against us just puts us way behind the ball. You can see standings-wise, the pennant chase. So again, we're in there for the Central, in there for the wild card. Unfortunately, Rockies, Diamondbacks, the West is just being super competitive right now. But getting some chance against the Dodgers here, who are not having a great season. You can see the Dodgers here 60 and 70. Beltran being the best for batter WAR. RBIs is Ramos. Home runs Beltran 35. And of course, we lose 3 to the Dodgers. And the saving here at the end of the month. Hey, we took 1 of the 3, which is just the story of this year right now. We get an expanded roster, so that means we can bring some guys up if they're ready. We'll see. These AAA guys, Marmol, good. We'll bring him up as some bullpen depth. Grant Balfour, been average, probably not. Gio, bat's not there quite yet. Brent Gardner, definitely not yet. Will Omen's been great. We'll bring him back up, even though he always struggles when he comes up. Alex Sanchez can be an outfielder. Jose Macias, no. No. Yabu's no. So, Kaichi Yabu has 2 good pitches, but just an average pitcher in AAA. I think he needs some more time at 36. Unfortunately, Ted Blasco, no. Buddy Brownlee, no. Terrio, I mean, just not good. Micah Hoffpower, not good. Yeah, so unfortunately, just looking at it, there's nobody else really needs to come up. A couple things are going to happen here. Again, getting some more lefties in the bullpen is never a bad thing. Sean Marshall, at this point, might be a trade bait. This is now 2 years in a row. Well, he was good last year in limited time, but just terrible this year in the majors. I think he's going to get 1 more year to see. But outside of that, Bob Howery, brought him back. Not good. Guy's probably just going to end up walking after this year. Scott Williamson, after a really good year, unfortunately, he's having a down year. Starter-wise, Pryor struggling, Zito struggling, Cliff Lee struggling. I think both these guys can figure it out, though. If not, man, Barry Zito free agent sucks, but he does have arbitration, so we'll see. I mean, 177 Oakland, 446 here, so there's something wrong with our pitching coaching that needs fixed. 5-2 win against Pittsburgh. 3-5 loss against Pittsburgh. 3-4 loss. Beat St. Louis. Beat St. Louis. Lost St. Louis. So again, you can see we're sitting at 12. So again, borderline playoff team right now. Sitting second, 3 games back. Second, the wild card, 2.5 games back. Just need to see if we can get 1 more streak going here at the end of the year. You can see the pennant chase here. We'll kind of keep this screen up for a little bit. Losing at San Francisco hurts. There we beat San Francisco. Two guys it's time to retire. 4.9 ERA in rookie ball. 16 ERA in rookie ball. Not even going to notice. Jeff Kent's hurt in St. Louis, which is huge for us. Sadly, but good. Makes St. Louis worse. We just passed this for second. Losing the Giants, who were first in their division, but we beat the Giants that time. Pushes it back into second. Tied for second in the wild card with the Giants. Cincinnati's a team we have to sweep here. And we just lose another one. Losing 2 to Cincinnati just almost kills our playoff hopes again. Adalberto Castro, good defender, but that 42 OPS plus, bye. Like, just not going to work. If I bring him back, it'll be on a minimum minor league deal. Smoltz got win 200, good for him. John Hunton did really good in A-ball at 22. Sad, but he's not a good character and not a good pitcher, so I don't know why. And he can just kind of stay at that lower levels. We got to take some from St. Louis here. And we split series with him, so again, doesn't matter really. Sitting at 9th. We're going to jump back here to the pennant chase. One thing I do want to do is I want to bookmark this page. Again, just dropping farther out. Our hope now has to be win Central. Which again, Milwaukee is a good team to go against here. Looking pitching wise. Kerry Wood, Barry Zito, Cliff Lee for these 3 games. About 13% chance. So we need to make a run here. And we lose all 3. Oh, we did take 1. Still 3 games back. Against Houston, though, a chance to gain some ground. 2 games back. 1 game back. Jay Crawford retiring, 313 in AAA last year, but at 39 years old. No. Damaso Marte. Again, off-season guy. Probably good ERA plus. Wouldn't mind extending him. What does he want? If he's 30, so I want under 6 a year. He's a reliever, probably under 4 a year. We'll see if we can back that off a little bit. Oh no. We'll go 3.5. 3.5. 2 with the opt-out after year 1. Not interested in that, so again, we can let him hit and see what happens. Oh, Austin Jackson, good for him. Again, big move here. Jump back here to the pennant chase. Beating Houston here puts us in the lead for the division. And we do win, puts us tied for first, magic number 7 now. Playing against Pittsburgh, who's not been good this year. Against Esteban Loaiza. Win in 10, that's a huge first game. Gets us magic number 6. Losing and having Sosa get hurt for the last couple of games here is terrible. More likely Astros lost as well. And now we have another series won. Series against Houston to win. Winner of this series gets the division. We take first game. Come on. They lose. They take second game. So we're just sitting. Another guy, not his real pitcher, I'm going to guess. Adam Jones being up there is nice. Get a lot of pitchers being hurt for the season. 2 more games against Houston here to win it. We'll jump back to the pennant chase screen. Again, 2 games. We need to take both of them. Take the first one. Huge game against Houston here. If we look at this, Derek Lee is at second base for some reason. That's weird. I don't like that, and that's just confusing because we don't have very many. We have too many outfielders right now. They don't have infield experience. That we have guys playing in weird spots. Michael Young's too tired to play, and we have Mark Pryor on the bump. Oh, I'm trying to remember how to. All right. Let's see what happens. As we join into a game here. The biggest game of the year for us. Derek Lee leading off. Cubs win this, we have the playoffs. Cubs lose this, we end up having a tie for the playoff lead, and we go to some tiebreaker situations. 1-1 count to Derek Lee to start it. A.J. Burnett in the bump, having a good year. 20-5 with a 2.81 ERA. Derek Lee hitting .251, 19 homers. Rips the first one at second baseman. It's going to be easy out for the Astros to Biggio over to Bagwell. Now Carlos Beltran, star of the National League right now, 41 home runs, 40-20 year. We'll see if he can get us going. Rips one up, and going to be a lazy fly out to the shortstop, just behind second base. Now Ramos up, another guy having a great year, 290. Rips it to right field, back, and caught just before the warning track. Now Pryor's had a rough start to the year. See if he can get a little more momentum, or rough season. First in strikeouts, though. See if he can get some going and some run support. Ground ball to Ramirez. Fields it, throws it. He bobbled it first. Ramirez commits his 16th error on bad throw. It's kind of in the story of our team right now. And Pryor with a huge strikeout here with one out now. See if they can get a double play. Garciaparra and Derek Lee up the middle again. Not ideal, but we'll see what happens. Big looping pop-up to the left side of the infield. Just gets back. Ramos gloves it pretty easily. 2 outs. Pryor looking to get out of the inning. Hidalgo looks at strike 3, and that is going to be the end of the inning. Nobody on, or one no hits, 1 error. And now Sosa comes up, just come back off an injury. See if he can get some at-bats going here. Bloops one to center field, will be down for a base hit. Sosa delivers, gets the leadoff batter on base for the Cubs. Next up, Aubrey Huff. See if he can drive some runs around. Rips it to the right side of the infield. Does get down and through. Sosa safe at second. Next up, Nomar Garciaparra. Runner on first, second, nobody out. Let's see if Cubs can bring home a run. Nomar up in a big spot. This is why you end up paying him. Hits a hard ground ball to first base. Gets the out at second. Doesn't make the relay throw. Runners now at the corners. Garciaparra in first, Sosa at third. 1 out. Alberto Castillo, not the guy you want up right now, but we'll see if he can get a little going here to drive a run in. Rips it to left field, left center gap. Is going to get down. One of the worst hitters in the league right now. Rips a double to score at least 1. And Cubs are staying at second and third, 1 out. Garciaparra to hold up with only 1 out. Now we lead it to Ryan Garco, the other catcher, a much better hitting catcher. But again, having 238 in the year is not ideal. See if you can drive a couple in. 2 outs, ground ball. Gets 1 in, is thrown out at first. but it does drive home a run. Cubs take a 2-0 lead. Now to Mark Pryor, run on third. Pryor, not a terrible hitting pitcher, rips it to the third baseman. It bobbles. Error on third baseman. That evens up, and Pryor's on first base. Another RBI, helping himself out. 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. Now to the top lineup, Derek Lee. This time ground out to second last time. This time grounds out to third on the fielder's choice. Sides retired. Cubs put 3 up early on the second. See if Pryor can deal here. Gets that ground ball to Garciaparra. Fields it cleanly. Oh, correction. Line drive to Garciaparra, who fields it clean and gets for the out. Now to Craig Biggio, having a really rough hitting year. Pryor continues his dominant form on the mound right now, striking out Biggio, third of the game. Adam Everett now, good season, 266 so far. Rips it to right center field. This one's going way back off the wall. Fielded by Beltran, who gets it in a hurry. And that's going to be a good triple for Adam Everett. It's like that. Pryor starting his first runner in scoring position, but 2 outs. Piazza's up the plate. See if he can get the catcher struck out to end the inning. Another high line drive to center field. And this one is gone. Piazza cuts the lead to 1 with a 2-run shot, 424 feet. Again, signs of Pryor struggling to keep the ball in the ballpark right now. A.J. Burnett steps in, though. Pitcher should be the last out of the inning. Hard ground ball. Garco fields it. Throws it over Pryor for the third out. Cubs survive. Still up 3-2. Again, giving up 2 runs on the home run by Piazza. But we do have the star center fielder, Carlos Beltran, up to the plate. Weak line out last time. This time strikes out swinging. Ramos Ramirez up. Weak line ball, ground ball to the pitcher. Easy field, and it's out for the second out of the inning. Sosa up after giving up the long line drive in the right field last time. Gets caught in the check swing, strike 3. 1-2-3 for the Cubs, still up 3-2. Pryor needs to get back on his game. There's a strikeout, his 4th of the game. This time attempted bunt. Pulls it back, and looks like Sean Green was injured in the play on the right leg. Has to be taken out of the ball game from the injury. We have Mike Kulbach coming in. Berkman now to bat, a good power hitter. Rips it to Lee at second. Is able to field it, throw it to second base. Gets the out at second as Berkman was able to make it safe to first on the slow turn, which leads us now to Richard Hidalgo. Rips it to center field. Beltran tracking, not able to get to it. Decides to hold him at second. And the Astros are threatening here. Jacques Jones up. Pryor strikes out and gets the inning over. Still up 3-2. Cubs survive a scare. Aubrey Huff up to plate. Rips this one to left center field. This one's back, and gone. Aubrey Huff doubles the lead of 1 swing of the bat. 2-1 count. Huff tattooed it 432 feet to left center. Now Nomar's up. Having kind of a rough year, but see if he can come alive when it matters. This time it's a hard line drive to Ensberg at third, able to field it. Adalberto Castillo drove a double in, and this time looks strike 3. Now we have Ryan Garco, way late behind us, struck him out with a slider. Cubs extend the lead to 4-2, and Pryor's looking to continue his outing. This one's a soft line drive to Sosa in right field. Is going to get down. Craig Biggio is on base. Biggio, a good stealer, but Castillo, great defensive catcher. Let's see if they try to test his arm. Again, foul ball. 2-2 count now. Going to have to swing the bat. Is a line drive to Sosa in right. Able to field it. Check it back in. Biggio is able to tag back up. Correction, Huff is in right field. Now it's Piazza homered earlier. Lazy line ground ball to Lee, who gets it and turns 2. Lee to Garciaparra. Over to Garco at first. Ends the inning with a double play. Cubs still lead 4-2. Now we have the end of the bottom Mark Pryor along with the top of the lineup coming up. Pryor, it's a big pop up to the infield. Caught by Biggio. Now we have Derek Lee still playing a weird position at second base. Rips this one just over the shortstop's head for a base hit. Again, the way the Cubs are hitting right now, gonna need the bullpen to come through, but looks like they're able to secure some run support. Beltran, wild pitch. Lee gets down to second. Oh, correction, they're gonna give that a pass ball on Piazza. Now we have a 3-0 count to Beltran. And he looks at low and away ball 4. Beltran with its 90th walk in the season. Now 2 on, 1 out for Ramos Ramirez. Base hit could score 2 here. Big pop up center. Looks like it's going to be caught. Derek Lee thinks about tagging, but runs back. Hidalgo, nice catch. Again, he's got a great arm in center field. Good job not testing it. Now we have Sosa. Strikes out swinging, and Cubs get nothing. Straight a pair. All right, and for the Astros, we look at 9-1-2. Burnett, Ensberg, Coolbaugh. A.J. Burnett strikes out by Pryor. Starts his 5th inning off clean. Ensberg now. Hits a ground ball just over Garciaparra's glove. Just for a little soft single to the left field. Sosa hurries up and gets it in. Now we have a runner on first. 1 out. Double play position. But Pryor strikes him out and doesn't need the double play anymore. That's his 7th strikeout of the game. Berkman up now. See if he can get out of the inning unscathed. Berkman's such a dangerous hitter. Beautiful pitch by Pryor. Gets Berkman chasing. Ends the inning with 1 on. Cubs still lead by 2. Aubrey Huff went deep in the 4th. Rips another one to the same spot. Center fielder Hidalgo going back, tracking it, and going to bring it in. Nomar's up now. Lined out back in the 4th. This time another soft line out to the shortstop. And Alberto Castro's a surprising hitter earlier in the game. Rain has started to fall, which is good for the Cubs. Keeping that ball in the ballpark. Soft ground ball to second base. Easily fielded by Biggio. And that will be the end of the 5th. Cubs still lead by a pair. Pryor still dealing. Hard line drive to right field. Huff's able to track it down, get it in quickly. It's going to be a close play at second, and Hidalgo slides in safe with an early double. Pryor with a little threat now in second. Jock Jones up. Ground ball to the right side of the field, fielded by Garco, able to step on first. Runner to third. Hidalgo at third. Mike Lamb up. Pryor needs to keep this ball in the infield. Deep fly ball to Huff in right field. And gone. 1 swing of the bat, and it is a tie ball game. Pryor left it over the middle of the plate. Mike Lamb squared it up 392 to right field. Now Adam Everett's up. Ground ball to Garciaparra, fields it cleanly, makes the good throw to first, and it is grabbed for the 2nd out of the inning. Piazza up, had a home run earlier, strikes out this time. Pryor gets, I think, giving up 2 hits, one of them being the long ball to bring it back to a 4-4 tie. That should just be about it for Pryor, as he's due up second this inning. Garco, the first baseman, hits a soft ground ball to shortstop, bobbles it. Able to make it safe at first. Cubs very fortunate. 2nd error of the game for the Rockies, or the Astros on the left side. And now we lead to pinch hit Michael Young. Misses with the fastball. Slides in safe for second. Wild throw. Able to advance to third and rounding it. A bad throw by Piazza lets Garco advance all the way to third. Cubs now 90 feet away from taking the lead. 2-0 count to full count to Michael Young. 0 for 6 the pitch hitter on the year. Called strike 3. Michael Young goes back to the dugout with the bat in his shoulder. And Derek Lee, biggest spot of the game, gets something out of the outfield. And this one's deep to left center field. We're running. This one is back and gone. Derek Lee, a 2-run homer, matches the Astros in the last inning. and gives the Cubs a 2-run lead again. Beltran now batting from the right side for the first time today. Arthur Rhodes checks in. Bloops it up the middle for a base hit. Beltran easy to first on a full count. And Beltran being the base stealing threat and Piazza not being a good defensive catcher. I'd be shocked to see Beltran stay in first here very long. And he is off. And Beltran easy steal, 26 of the year, 29 attempts. Going first pitch, it ends up being a ball, so Ramos now up 1-0. 0 for 3 in the day. Loops this one to left field. It's going to be an easy catch as Beltran has to retreat back to second. 2 outs now. Sammy Sosa up. Going against a lefty, has much lower power. We'll see if he can get a hold of this one. 3-0 count. Sosa just takes it and with a walk. And now we have Aubrey Huff going lefty-lefty. Rips it to the left side of the infield under the glove. Beltran's got speed. He's going to test him at home. And Beltran up easy. Third run of the inning for the Cubs. They extend the lead to 7-4. Full count to Garcia Parra, first and second. Rips it to center field. And is an easy catch in the inning. But Cubs score 3 to push that lead last two innings here. Bagwell up to bat. Pinch hitting here. We'll see if the relief pitcher now coming in, Damaso Marte, can finish the inning here. Left-handed pitcher, 4-3 a year, 3 RA. Does have some home run issues, giving up 6 in 33 starts. Called strike 3. Strikes out Bagwell to start the inning. Now we have back to the top of the order, Morgan Ensberg. And we go to right-hand pitcher Brian Sikorsky, having a much better year, 306. Not a home run guy. Blooper just over Derek Lee's head at second. Gonna be a single as the Cubs kind of rush it in. Sikorsky now looking for a double play to end the inning. Gets the line drive to right field. This one's back and gone. Cubs bullpen gives up another home run. And the Astros cut it down to 1, 7-6. Brian Sikorsky still has not gotten out this inning. Lance Berkman has a full count. This one's ripped to center field. Beltran tracks it down. The second out of the inning. Sikorsky needs to get Hidalgo here, end the inning, and keep this lead. Gets the strikeout, survives the inning. 2 runs on 2 hits, one of them being the long ball to right field. Cubs back only up by a run. Astros hanging around. 7-8-9 for the Cubs here, so most likely to see Sikorsky get pinch hit for. We see Mike DeJean come in, having almost a 5 ERA, giving up 6 home runs in 69 innings. Castillo with a lazy liner to center, an easy catch by Hidalgo. Now Ryan Garco up to bat. Was able to get on by error last time. This time another ground ball third base. This one is fielded cleanly with a good throw to first to retire Garco. Now we see Alex Sanchez pinch hit, 288 on the year. Good speed. And just comes up just like Michael Young in the last inning. Just watches a strike 3 go by. Cubs still only up by a run as Scott Williamson checks in the game, see if he can shut down the 8th. Jock Jones up. Ground out to first last time, 0 for 3 on the day. Williamson gets the strikeout on the splitter away. Now Mike Lamb, big home run. 392 on a 2-0 count last time. This time a lazy line drive to Derek Lee as he grabs it to second cleanly. Jose Cruz up. Pinch hitting for the pitcher. And just like that, strike 3. Williamson gets a nice 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts. Cubs still up by a run heading into the 9th. Derek Lee up, homered last time. Todd Williams comes in with an almost 10 ERA in the season. This is an inning the Cubs need to add some runs on. This time Derek Lee soft ground ball to shortstop. Unfortunately not going to do it. Next we have Carlos Beltran, somebody you can take advantage of a righty. 1 for 3 in the game so far. Rips this to left field. Is going to be in the gap. Should he be easy extra bases. Beltran rounds first, easy into second with a sliding double. Beltran's in there safe. His 35th double this season, continues his hot start to the year. We'll see if Beltran tests Piazza at third. Does not. Aramis with a soft ground ball to third base. Beltran sneaks in behind. 2 outs. Runner advances to third as Sammy Sosa has a chance to send the Cubs to the playoff with one swing of the bat here. This one's deep to right. Back goes at the wall. Leaps. And that one's gone. Sammy Sosa with a home run. 379 feet. Just gets over. Pushes that Cubs lead back up to 3. 6-9. And we now have a quick substitution here. Brandon Back checks in. As Huff drives it to left field. Dive. And catches off a one-hop. Huff in for a double. Cubs continue their hot hitting here in the 9th inning. We'll see if they can. Nomar can keep going. Ball 4. 2-out walk. First and second. 2 outs. Full count had runners going. Unfortunately, ground out to end the inning. 3-run lead for the Cubs. See if they can come in and finish this. Williamson continues to pitch. Piazza 1 for 3 with a homer. Williamson gets the first one on the off speed. Jason Alfaro now in. This one's looped to Huff in right field as he runs and chases and tracks it down easy. Correction, Ankiel's check in at third in the right field as a defensive sub. Matt Diaz checks in left field as a defensive sub. Huff moved to first base. And that looks like everyone else is still the same. For some reason, still have Derek Lee in second. Morgan Ensberg. Astros draw the walk, still down to their last out. Tying runs in the on-deck circle. Mike Coolbaugh is in potentially the last out of the inning. Loops it up to the pitcher. Easy out, and that just like that, the Cubs have made the playoffs. Biggest game of the year. With that, take a 2-game lead, ends the regular season as a playoff team for the first time this series. All right, with that, looking at now the playoffs roster. We get Arizona in the first round. Will Oman, best AAA reliever. Again, makes sense. He was great in AAA this year and just not good in MLB. He is a quadruple A player. I don't think he's ever going to be a major league guy at this point. It sucks, but some guys just are like that. Melvin Moore with the batting crown and Todd Helton with the NL batting crown. We jump ahead here to Arizona. You can see our playoff roster. Look at that. Pitching wise, down to a 4-man rotation. Slides Cliff Lee the bullpen. Leading with Pryor, Zambrano, Wood, and Zito. Bullpen looking at Marte, being a lefty specialist. Marshall, Sikorsky, Cliff Lee, Jason Fraser, Al Reyes, Bob Howry, Scott Williamson, and Troy Percival. On the lineup side of things, Derek Lee at first, Beltran in center, Ramos at third, Sosa in left, Huff in right, Nomar at short, Michael Young at second, and Alberto Castillo at catcher. So we have Ryan Garco off the bench, the replacement catcher, somebody who's got some upside still. Not hitting as well as he did last year, but still somebody I like keeping around. Infield-wise, we're a little shy, but that's just because we had to carry Ankiel all season because of the Rule 5, and I didn't want to lose that defense. Ends up being a good defensive sub, very sub-average hitter. Basically a neutral player this year, which is what I expect. He'll probably end up being in AAA next year at 27. Then develop some of the hitting stats, bring up a infielder next year. Win the first game against Arizona. Look at the playoff coverage here. Game 2. There's a 2-4 loss. Percival gets the win in that first game, 1-0. Percival gets a loss in the second game. So again, 2 games that go deep into the innings. Now we have Bartolo Colon versus Mark Pryor. Is going to be a win. Pryor with an early lead, and Mark Pryor with the home run. Okay. Now I have Derek Lowe versus Barry Zito. There's a 7-0 loss. Zito got hit around. And that leads now to Andy Pettit versus Carlos Zambrano in Game 5 to advance to the next round. And it's a 6-7 loss. Percival blows it in the end. Series MVP was Adrian Beltre. Unfortunately, that ends the Cubs season. But a good run gets the Cubs to the playoffs, and we'll jump ahead here to the playoffs end. But unfortunately, a sad end of the year, losing in 5 to the Diamondbacks. Seeing if they can make a run here. Again, making positives. Again, ahead of schedule right now. Making the playoffs in, I believe, year 2. Was not kind of my cards, but made a nice run at the end. Clinched it over the Astros. Very fortunate with Jeff Kent being hurt from the Cardinals, making them drop down. Again, a very, in my opinion, poor building year for me in terms of lineup construction because I was trying to hold Ankiel. But next year, being able to build a more diverse team, a little lighter bullpen, a little heavier on the bats. Going to be buyers again this offseason. Diamondbacks make it all the way to the World Series, going to a Game 7 against the Red Sox. And the Red Sox win Game 7 for their second World Series trophy in a row. And again, continue to have a good year. Again, 839 is the score I'm happy with. Do want to look at restructuring some of this coaching staff. If not, again, we'll see, but I don't love all of our stuff right now. Looking at some off-season stuff here, and again, we'll get into the off-season. Looking about 41 minutes in the video here. So we'll look at who's going to be all here, look at the draft, look at who's going to be upcoming free agent, make a plan, and we'll just join on the next episode here and figure out where we're going to go. But right now, looking at the draft pool. Right now, our draft mock draft has us picking 27th, Trevor Cahill, who actually is a good pitcher in real life. I don't think he did end up a couple years in Chicago. Was flipped to San Diego. But looking at this draft pool, looking at some potential to begin with. All players. Michael Brantley re-entered. So Michael Brantley, Trevor Cahill, Marvin Gonzalez, Clayton Kershaw's in this draft. Cam Mavern, Daniel Murphy, Ottavino. Justin Turner's here. Jules Chasin, Tim Lincecum, Neftali Feliz, Alex Gordon, Josh Hamilton, Evan Longoria, Mark Melanson, Betances, Alex Cobb, Crush Davis. Not the A's one, but the Orioles one that had the legendary hitless streak. Eduardo Escobar, Doug Fister, who was 6'8", big, tall, long, John Jay, Bud Norris, Miguel Rojas, Colby Rasmus, Alan Craig, who had a good couple years in David Freese, World Series hero, Kenji Brandon Morrow, Ivan Nova, Darren O'Day, Mike Pelfrey, Hector Rondon, Drew Stubbs, Andrew Bailey, Don Brown. So we're starting to get to more of these guys that have played in the last 2 or 3 years. Zach Britton, Chris Carter, Wellington Castillo, Chris Coughlin on that Cubs World Series team in 2016. Jaime Garcia. Other names that really jump out. Andrew Miller, big lefty, might be one of the best relievers of all time. Lomo, Chris Tillman, Justin Upton, Ari Adrianza, Chris Archer, Peter Burgess, Jared Dyson, Tyler Flowers ends up being a pretty decent catcher. Ian Kennedy. So this is a really good Peter Moylan, really good draft class. Tommy Pham is a shortstop prospect. I always forget that was the case. Wilson Ramos, Yngura Solarte, Danny Valencia. So yeah, so just a lot of good names here. See if any other names jump out to me here quick. If not, we'll add those to the short list and do some scouting on them. Justin Masterson had a good couple years in Boston. Jose Quintana, of course, was one of the worst Cubs trades. Jeff Samardzija played receiver at Notre Dame at this point too. Shark, loved him. Josh Tomlin, a couple good years in Cleveland. Throw him on the list. And I think I'll call that good there because now we're starting to get to just where it lists the names in alphabetical order. A bunch of these guys are all about the same. So if we have names that jump out as the draft shows up, maybe, but nobody there jumps out to me. So we'll jump back to the top. We'll jump, I guess, Trevor Cahill because so added the default short list. Brantley's already on it. And then we'll do the combine watch list. Outside of that, let's see. A new budget. Our budget goes up. Players retiring. Alberto Castillo doesn't hurt my feelings. Again, defensive catcher, but it was probably going to be organizational depth. We do get a 5-year contract. Our first base coach leaving, but he is not very good. Pat Dobrik, not very good. Brendan Winterford, very bad. Chad Maroney, no. Oscar Rodriguez, no. Tyrese Alexander, no. So if we just look, like, these are not good coaches in terms of rating wise, so they're going to be able to walk without me really being upset. Looking here, yep, same thing. No. Top prospects, if you look, we were like 20 something last time. We were sitting there. We still only have 2 good prospects. Arbitration development facility, so we'll finish up with arbitration. Both these guys will get Aubrey Huff and Michael Young. If they decline, we're going to offer them money. Howery can walk. Marte can walk. Percival can walk. All these guys can kind of go after if I need to. Minor league prospect and minor league free agents. Yeah, nobody I really care to lose or not lose. Up here, Ankiel's cheap. Sanchez cheap. Macias was a negative player. He's 35 at AAA. Yeah, he can go. Zito, Zambrano, Pryor, Lee are all good. So I'm okay with all those. Huff and Michael Young I'd like to bring back, especially Aubrey Huff. What does he want for a contract extension? 6 years. Yeah, I can offer that. Michael Young, unfortunately, which means he gets the odd man out. I can't afford that. But again, second baseman easier to replace. Going off just a very slightly above average hitting year. I think he can kind of walk without me being too upset. All right, so then we go to front office. Personnel. First of all, I want to do this before I do anything. Let's keep Dusty Baker on. First base coach. In-game running. Oh, we have here Pete Peachy. Manager has control over hiring first base. Okay, so that will be on Dusty. Working now with the minor leagues here. Pitching coach. Teach pitching with development. Again, the only downside of having these old plays is there's not a good lot of good coaches. Hitting coach. Teach hitting. Oh, manager. Works with development here. It's like John Stuper, sure. It's not bad, Alex Rodriguez, for those that are wondering. Yes, I saw that too. Pitching coach. Let's do all coaches. Teach pitching. Ben Perry. Hitting coach. Zach Biting, no. Adam Bordeaux. Again, this is the downside of, again, as I was just saying, just filling some spots right now just because there's no good pitchers. Zach Brock. John Barton. Just running through and filling some names right now. We're still too early on. Brian Bush, sure. To have good non-major league managers. Why not? Busey. Hitting coach. 39-year-olds. Let's do that. I don't know. All right, so that's that. Outside of that, we'll go to player development quick. Development lab. All right, so what do we need? I do want to have Beltran keep working on stuff. Needs to improve some contact. Let's work on quality contact. If he doesn't do weight, then whatever. Mark Pryor. Coming off a very bad year. Needs to work on movement or control. Unless how's his pitcher? His pitchers are fine. Let's work on movement. Derek Lee. Worked on gap power, which is kind of ironic. Who else do I care to keep? Well, work on my young pitchers. So we have Cliff Lee. Needs to work on his primary pitches, honestly. Improve his pitch arsenal. Nomar, I want to keep working on defense. Any other young guys? Zambrano. Needs to work on his control a little bit. Marmol, either control or movement. I'm going to go with control for him. And Gil Plants, I good plans in him AAA. Ramos had a great year. All right, just Sean Marshall. I want him to be so much better than he is. He's a big lefty. See if we can get some more control on him. Okay, so there's that. And we're going to finish today looking at the offseason. First off, free agent-wise, don't have a whole lot of money free agents, but we have some guys we can get contracts off of. If we look at our salaries here, next year contract, Beltran, of course, getting paid. Nomar getting paid, probably is a trade piece. Sosa, Barry Zito in arbitration. Yeah, we have some guys we can move. Nomar being the primary one. Love Nomar. Below average hitting with not great defense is just not going to work for me. So he's probably going to be traded. Like I said, same as going to end his career here. He got his 600th home run. But we'll put him on the block. Other than that, Marte's going to be gone. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. After making the playoffs, let's change it to 32. Got our scouting budget as low as it goes. Development budget's fine. And then looking at this offseason and free agents. So some names we're going to see. Francisco Cordero. Randy Johnson's again coming off an injury, but was good again last year in Seattle. I might bring him in, I might not. We'll see. Jim Thome, don't need a first baseman. Billy Wagner would be a good bullpen piece. 34 years old, coming off a down year, but potential. AJ Burnett coming off an insane year. Might end up being an option just to get him out of Houston. Give him a pitcher here. Roger Clemens, free agent again. Flash Gordon. Ramon Hernandez. Different Ramon Hernandez, I'm pretty sure. I'm guessing. Oh, maybe not. We'll load this one just to see. Did he play for San Diego? He did in that same type of stretch. Yeah, most likely that's going to be him. Melvin Mora coming off a really good year. Actually, just a genuinely good player. Might be my... he's not really a shortstop. Rafi Furcal is a good defender. Yeah, just names to look at. Jimmy Rollins is super tempting at 26. Why he's going to hit the free agent, I have no clue. He's a good defensive shortstop, above average hitter. Phil Nevin, Bill Mueller. Yeah, Corey Patterson finally hit it. Mike Lowell, Aubrey Huff, who I plan on resigning. Mike Cameron's here. Michael Young's going to walk. Some names to look at. Juan Pierre, Tino Martinez, Mike Stanton, Tim Salmon, Jason Varitek's a good catching option. Scott Hatteberg. So not the greatest. They might have to make some moves from trade to get some more guys. Ryan Dempster, who just actually coming off a pretty good year in San Diego. Struggled in Arizona. Derek Lowe. Troy Percival might come back. Rincon I might bring back. Joe Borowski can keep away from us. Kenny Lofton is now playing first base. Is a choice. But just looking available shortstops, we talked about potentially trading Nomar. Really here and above. Julio Lugo has the defense. Jose Hernandez, second baseman for the most part, actually has some decent stats. Melvin Mora has some third base or shortstop options. Doesn't really have the range I love. So definitely options at shortstop. Catcher-wise, much less options. Ramon Hernandez is the best one. And even there, he's not great defensively. Piazza cost Houston the playoffs. Phil Nevin's naturally a first baseman. Benito, just old. Veritek, nah. So not a lot of catching. Sandy Alomar, 39 years old. Mike Matheny, Brad Osmus somehow moved back to catcher. Oh, man, 42 OPS. He's basically what we just had. So catching options pretty thin. Do need another starter. Old guys, really. Byung-Hyun Kim. I think he had a goofy delivery, if I remember right. But again, Randy Johnson might end up getting a one-year flyer. Just a good pitcher. 42 years old, though. Coming off another injury. It doesn't say if he's fragile anymore. Let's see, injury history. Yeah, you can just see last year 3 different injuries. But other than that, this has been the Game Math Teacher, and if you have some recommendations who you guys think we should go after, please leave in the comments. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode when we dive into this offseason.